All right, so today's video is basically about Lil Durk. If you don't know who Lil Durk is, he's the famous rapper. Basically, it seems like they trying to pin another body on him. I'm not too sure. It seems like they don't have much evidence, but it seems like they trying to pin another body on him. So, from what the feds are saying, let's see what they saying.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And I can't go like Mitch in the hallway.
As a singer, he won't smoke shit. You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here.
Multiple shootings, which killed 2 people, injured 1 police officer in Harvey. That chaos started.
That's another thing, man. Look, these rappers, man, I ain't gonna tell no lies, man. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do, man. But y'all gotta stop telling on yourselves, man. Hey, look, everybody rap, everybody want to rap, everybody want to make money, but stop snitching on yourself, man.
Started outside of a nightclub.
All the circumstances and details around, these accusations. What I do know, though, is that Lil Durk's mission to build financial literacy for children across the city and making other critical investments. For the children of the city is where his heart, has been. And I mean, there's no secret to the trauma that he grew up in and how he has worked to turn that trauma into opportunities for other people.
The feds got an over 90% conviction rate, but a huge part of that come from 80% taking a plea. Then you got Chicago rapper Lil Durk, who went to 20% that's taken it to trial. So you expect all the tricks to be played. And that's what the feds doing today. Last week, the Chicago rapper lawyer had came out and said the murder for hire charges are bogus. Basically, it's no real evidence. Now, the day of Lil Durk hearing, it seemed they come out and connect him to another murder for hire. But they didn't charge him. They just talking about him being mentioned in this murder for hire alleged plot. Now that comes in 2022 with a young man we'll later discuss who allegedly, according to the feds, was retaliation for Lil Durk's brother who lost his life just months prior, who we also go over later in the video. Today we go over that case on this new murder for hire that the feds is trying to connect Lil Durk. We also see where we stand today and take a look at the 2 people who's been arrested for that murder going on a year now. So before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Grammy Award winning artist Lil Durk has an older brother named Don.
Look at this man, knowing who he is, knowing what type of business that they be doing sometimes, and getting themselves involved with. You see him standing in front of the cop car while rapping that shit. That's pretty crazy, man. And it's sad, man, sitting here watching, like, guys die, man. It's pretty crazy, man. Every time I sit here and look at this stuff, I'm like, look at that. The one time that you've been given existence, where something happens and then you're erased.
Dante Banks, who's also known as D-Thing. D-Thing allegedly lived in Chicago, Gresham's neighborhood. In 2021, D-Thing was 32 years old when he went to a club named Club O. It was June 7, 2021. The club was located on the 1700 block of S. Hoster Street. According to a Harvey police officer, he heard gunfire and noticed a person with a gun at the club. As he got closer to the club, he heard more gunfire and an altercation. When suddenly he saw D-Thing get shot. Then the officer got hit. D-Thing didn't survive. May he rest in peace. A love of condolences to his family. The officer was in good condition. A day that allegedly was get back the same day, I think that was false. He was identified as Seneca Prince, 39 years old, and he was shot to death on the 100 block of West 155th Street in Harvey, Illinois, as mentioned. But here's the thing. His wife made a GoFundMe, and the details in that GoFundMe let it be known this ain't had nothing to do with Lil Durk. She said that Harvey PD brought a group of young individuals to her house so that her husband, Seneca, could identify them for an incident earlier that night. She said they were ultimately released and came to kill her husband. So if it was retaliation, it was for what a Harvey police officer did. But now in December of 2024.
So the cop brought the people to the house and tried to identify them, and then the same people were released and came back in retaliation and got rid of the man that was potentially supposed to identify them. That is a dumb way how the police move there. Dumb.
The feds coming out and saying that Lil Durk is connected to real revenge 7 months later after D-Thing lost his life. January 27, 2022. 2 men were accused of plotting, along with others who wasn't identified at the time, to murder.
Yo, did you see how homie literally over the car looking like somebody in the military, man? This man is not playing. Look at this man. This man is over the car, dude. I mean, literally, I ain't trying to say nothing bad, man, but look. He's an easy headshot, though. With the right, I'm just saying, he's an easy headshot.
Who wasn't identified at the time to murder Stephon Mack in exchange for money. Prosecutors said Mack was shot and killed by a gunman who got out of a car and opened fire on him as he walked out of the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located on 420 West 100th Street, on the afternoon, January 27, 2022. Me Mack, rest in peace. 11 condolences to his family. But it wouldn't come until almost 2 years later when authorities were making arrests. November 30th, 2023. Anthony Montgomery Wilson, also known as AJ, and Mike City AJ, and Preston Powell, also known as Marley. Now fam, it's important you guys know this. Mack wasn't arrested for D-Thing's murder. So if he did it, only he would know that and the people close around. But what we do know is Mack did affiliate himself with people who was known enemies of Lil Durk.
Oh yeah, we got condition. That's what I'm talking about. That bitch be playing. Man, damn.
Man, you gotta get your girlfriend, you gotta be faithful, bro.
I got a girlfriend on the album.
You gotta get like me. You got
on the album. I'm out of that though, G.
Now, according to Anthony and Preston Powell indictment for the demise of Mack, this how it went down. Now, Stephon Mack, as we mentioned, lost his life January 27, 2022. He was known as Youngin. He was shot and killed outside the Youth Peace Center of Roseland. According to the website, YPC is a non-profit organization offering youth-related workshops that mentor teens and teach youth the skills necessary to avoid conflict of his violence.
So they got rid of him right where he was supposed to be fixing his life.
At the time of his death, Mack was a YPC participant. Based on the video surveillance footage obtained from YPC, at 2:22 p.m., Mack was still inside YPC, a 2014 black Chrysler 300 sedan with tinted windows, driven and occupied by the shooters, into YPC's parking lot. The Chrysler was initially parked on the east side of the parking lot facing YPC. But at approximately 2:25 p.m., the Chrysler moved to the west side of the parking lot, facing eastward. The shooters remained in the Chrysler for approximately 40 minutes, apparently waiting for Mack to leave YPC. Based on video surveillance footage obtained by YPC, Mack exited YPC and began to walk across the parking lot towards his car at around 2:59 p.m. 2 individuals emerged from the Chrysler, one from the driver's side door, shooter A, and the other from the front passenger side door, shooter B. They began shooting at Mack, who fled eastbound away from the shooters. Based on video surveillance footage obtained from YPC as well as the crime scene reports provided by Chicago Police Department.
That's why no matter where you go, man, you gotta always be aware. Always be aware. It don't matter what is going on. I don't care how much people want to say you look scary or you look scared. I don't care what they say. Listen, man. When you step out of a building, start scanning the area. If they teach you this in the military, then there's nothing wrong with you doing it as a civilian. Matter of fact, every veteran that comes out of the military does this. Anytime they exit any building, matter of fact, even when they enter a building, they start scanning the area and start notifying faces. This is how you can tell a threat potentially before, because you're aware. Remember now, when you go out there in the world, you're in front of a whole bunch of people. You don't know what no one's intention is besides your own. So from the moment you go out there, you're at risk. Every time you go into the normal world, you're at risk. If you're not in your home is the only place of sanctity that you have. That's the only place you should feel safe at temporarily until there's a potential threat. Otherwise from that, as soon as you go out there into the normal world, always be 100% aware. Never, ever let your guard down, because it's things like this that cause things like this, because I mean, yes, he potentially didn't know what was going on, but it doesn't make a difference. Just always be on alert. Just always be on alert. It's the safest thing to do.
Shooter A pursued Mac on foot. After crossing the parking lot, Shooter A shot Mac from a distance. Mac eventually collapsed on the other side of the nearby train tracks. Shooter A ran over to Mac and shot him and killed him. Based on video surveillance footage from a nearby community center and residence, after killing Mac, Shooter A fled eastbound on foot away from YPC. Shooter A proceeded southbound to 111th Street and then eastbound to 111th Street.
Yo, these
around
guys
that
is in
time,
the cold,
an individual
man.
was observed walking around the backyard of a vacant
They leaving
residence
the
located at
white
318
snow
West
stain.
111th Street.
Dang.
Based on records and information provided by the
crazy.
Chicago Police Department, later that day, law enforcement recovered a Ruger AR-556 pistol bearing serial number 858-61994 in the backyard of a vacant residence located at 318 West 111th Street. And after running ballistics on that firearm, it was the same firearm used to take out the life of Mac. Now, shortly after the shooting, YPC's security guard stepped outside into the parking lot and was shot in the leg by Shooter B. After shooting the security guard, Shooter B fled westbound from YPC on foot. The shooters abandoned the Chrysler in YPC's parking lot. Now, apparently, one of the shooters had a Facebook called Slammed You Out. They noticed that when one of the suspect's moms was contacted by the FBI and was trying to contact her son. And this is where, allegedly, Lil Durk come in, like the first allegations from the first indictment. Text messages alluding that Lil Durk is on the opposite side of those text messages when asked about compensation for these murders. In Lil Durk warrant application and probing Mac's death, federal investigators analyzed jail phone calls.
Yo, man, Lil Durk, man. Lil Durk is getting caught up too much in all of this stuff, man. This is starting to get bad. Every single time, every minute you're hearing his name. Lil Durk, Lil Durk, Lil Durk. Listen, man. I'm going to be real with you, man. If I was guys like this, where I was rich like that, I wouldn't be out here doing this Al Capone thing. You see what I'm saying? The Teflon Don thing doesn't work. I know, and see, this is the funny thing. All these guys is from Chicago. You see, Chicago got a natural breeding ground for these type of people. I don't know what is up with them, but I realized that it's not from any and anywhere. Cause see, the mafia was from New York. You know what I'm saying? But the mob is from Chicago. You see what I'm saying? Just like you got all of the cartel members, they're from Mexico. You got the Jamaican shotters. They were basically mainly in Miami, in New York. You know what I'm saying? Which is the Shire Posse. I mean, every development of every one of these type of groups is from a certain area. And you see the mob and these guys, man, they're all from Chicago, man. It's just like Florida. Like right now, the Haitians, yeah, that's a whole nother story, man. But like, I'm telling you, yeah, man. And shout out to all of these people. I ain't got nothing against nobody because you have the right to be able to be your own private group in America. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the reality of the facts. Like all of this stuff is developed where it started. And I'm telling you, Chicago, man, got a different type of, I don't know what these guys are, man, but these guys are like monsters when it comes to killing. Like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And then like, you got the Teflon Don, like, I forgot his name. John Gotti. You know what I'm saying? He was going in. You know, and then, and which the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was Al Capone. And then you got guys like this that are coming up right now. I mean, I'm not incriminating anybody and saying that they did anything because I don't know what he did and what he did not do. I'm just saying like this is pretty intense. It's pretty intense stuff, man. Like I don't want to live in Chicago. I don't give a damn. I'm not living there, no matter what.
Social media postings and firearm purchases, as well as lyrics from Lil Durk's song, Aha, released about a month after the shooting.
Won't smoke shit. You can bleed whatever you want, I got your folks here. Aha. Don't
The warrant application goes on to say Montgomery, Wilson, and Powell may have exchanged text messages concerning payment of Mac's murder. Montgomery Wilson was arrested on unrelated charges a few weeks after Mac's death. A detective with the New Lenox Police Department then applied for and was granted a warrant to search the contents of his cell phone. Investigators then discovered a two-person text message conversation that mentioned OTF, which is the label founded by Lil Durk. Prosecutors have linked the alleged murder-for-hire plot in Los Angeles. On February 10, 2022, one of the people in the text conversation asked, "What's up with OTF?" To which the other person responded, "Nothing." 8 days later, in the same conversation, another text message read, "Did Durk give you that money?" End quote. And that was it, fam. And if it's just that, we see why they ain't indict him yet. But fam, that goes to show you how they play. It's a dirty game out here. As of now, they trying to connect 2 murders on Lil Durk. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to say Cash is next. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. But this was the latest on the controversy between Lil Durk being locked up on murder for hire. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments.
All right, so you can already kind of tell 100% they're not too sure what's going on. They're just deciding that they want to potentially see. You know what I'm saying? And what usually happens probably in a situation like this is let's see if we can put enough pressure to see if the egg cracks. And that's kind of what this is right now. This is a situation definitely I don't want to be a part of. I would never want to be a part of this. But that's the reason why, you know, doing crime, you got to be willing to do the time. If you ain't willing to do the time, stay away from crime, man. That's the best thing I can tell everybody, man. But, you know, not going to hold you guys up. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're seeing this out of nowhere. And thank you for watching again. Be safe. Take it easy.